All right, once and for all, did you ever cheat on Ari?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is the third part of the 90-day last resort tell-all. Let's get right into it. So in the beginning, they are still talking about Stacy and Florian, and honestly, I didn't find anything that interesting in this segment. Nothing we don't already know. It's basically just a continuation of what we were talking about last week. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to Bini and Ari. So Sean asks very quickly if they are both still separated. They're still in agreement of moving on from the marriage. They both quickly say yes, but they are in constant communication because she is still kind of managing Bini and still helping him with all of his paperwork. And she said he calls her pretty much every day.
You know, do all this stuff. So I would prefer that in the long term he learns how to figure things out for himself.
I find that unlikely.
The way you solve that problem is by stop answering your phone all the time. Don't handle the situation unless it has to do with you or your child. No, don't deal with that. You don't want to deal with it, then don't.
Ari, are you seeing anyone?
I'm just, I've went on different dates with different people.
No, she's not dating anyone, which is fine. That's great. She was in a long-term relationship before she got with Bini, and then she got with Bini and had a baby. So no, she probably needs to be single for a while, but she didn't really want to come out right out and just say, no, I'm not. She does take a little swipe at him, being like, well, I don't really have time, because I'm the one who takes care of our son.
I'm putting my son first always because I'm the one who takes care of him, so.
Okay.
I don't even see that as petty. It's just, if she's just speaking the truth on that, he should be there helping take care of their son. He made this huge deal way back when about he never got to see his other kid. And it's like, oh, well, whose fault is that really? Because now you have another kid that you can see and you don't. She implies this anyway. And Bini never really comes out and says that's not the truth. But yeah, there are multiple times throughout their segment where she heavily implies that he's not around his son very much.
Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Gary?
Did you ever cheat on Ari?
I mean, the only thing I want to say, like for now,
Oh my God, it is so funny to me that he is immediately trying to talk his way around actually answering the question.
Cheated on me at least 4 times.
No, let me tell you.
4?
And then,
At least. The truth is, I had just had a C-section. I grabbed your phone and I looked at it and it said, I love you, I miss you.
Ari has said this before, not with all these details, but she has said that he cheated on her while she was pregnant. And if I'm remembering correctly, he's always either talked his way around it or straight up denied it.
I woke you up and I said, what is this? And you took the phone from me and you deleted the message. And,
Bitch, that's a terrible idea.
and that was just one of the times that you cheated on me.
Ari is on a mission this tell-all to get this man to admit that he actually cheated on her. And you know what? I don't blame her. He has been denying it forever.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
So Sean asks him one more time, did you cheat on Ari?
I want to say like in the beginning.
It's yes or no.
Yeah, no, I want to say.
No.
Cheaters over there.
Deflection. Disgrace. Sorry, that was cringy. I shouldn't have done that.
I would say yes.
So you did cheat while she was pregnant?
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Bini, the truth will set you free. Unfortunately, Ari, it will not make you any more likable. Sorry, just had to say it.
I'm sorry.
Despite that, I do like that she calls out the boys for not having the same energy over Binyam finally being proved a cheater.
Not only are you a cheat, you're a gutless cheat as well.
I knew you guys wouldn't save the same energy that you saved for Jasmine. I knew you wouldn't save it for someone else.
She's absolutely right on this, because when Bingham did say like, oh, I'm sorry for this, I apologize to you, they all just kind of nodded like, Rob just was like, yep, good job, like, you apologized, that's it. And he did not have the same energy towards Jasmine.
Jasmine's a cheater,
I don't
but
know
you go
if
hard
he's
for
a
him.
cheater because
I mean, Rob, you do know. You know right now because he just admitted to cheating on her while she was pregnant.
Don't waste your time.
I don't know. I can feel a lot more confident about what's happening over here.
I mean, Rob, you could have said something. You could have been like, bro, that's not cool. What the fuck were you thinking? Your wife was pregnant. Like, the fuck? I mean, they're buddies, so I wouldn't expect him to go after him the way he did with Jasmine. But, you know, maybe a little bit of discipline. A little bit like, that's not cool, bro. You know, something. Ari goes on a little rant like she didn't need to prove anything to anyone. She knows her life. She lived it for many years, which I'm like, girl, you obviously did. You obviously came here with the intent on proving him a cheater and getting him to admit. I mean, that was pretty much their entire time at the last resort, was like, we can't move on until you admit it. Fair, like completely fair. I get it. He's been denying it and everyone has been buddies with him and having fun and she feels left out. So I totally get it. I would probably feel the same way. But clearly, girl, you wanted to prove it to everybody. But then she starts talking about her son to Bini and saying, like, you need to be present in his life.
And whatever time you put in with him is the time he's going to give back to you in your life.
Amen to that.
For sure. We only have one life, one family. You got to do
When it
what's
comes to
right.
family, yeah. It's
Well,
like,
Jazz, aren't you the one with 2 kids in Panama that you haven't seen in a year or so? I'm not trying to, shade you. Just, pointing that out. That's all. So they bring Ari's mom out to comment on the relationship and they ask her if they think if Ari keeping his social media passwords from him was a good idea. She didn't think so, but Ari then brings up that she partially kept his passwords from him because he was being extorted.
And threatened to put things on social media that weren't true to ruin his reputation if they didn't get what they wanted, which is money.
Ari says that every woman that Bini has tried to be with has wanted something from him. You know, he's been on TV, and so a lot of people may think that he has money or something to give, and that's why she changed his passwords originally. Now, do I believe that that is true? Yeah, I do. He said it was. He said a woman did try to extort him, but do I believe that's why she continued to keep them from him? No. I think she kept them from him as a way to control him and to keep him coming back so maybe she could keep talking to him. Maybe there was a part of her that was also trying to protect him, but I don't think that was the entire reason or even most of the reason. Sean asked the other cast members if they believe that that is the real reason why she kept his passwords from him, and she gets a little upset by the fact that they were so willingly to believe her mother and not her.
The whole time I'm like, why don't you guys understand? And then, my mom comes out here and explains it for you. I think I'm saying the same thing she is.
She never once mentioned that people were trying to extort him and that she was also trying to do him a favor by changing the passwords. Not once.
Yeah, but you never said that. You never said that. Never heard anything about that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Everybody have respect for her. Like, I look your mom like my mom. And everybody believed.
That was a backhanded compliment.
She does have a point with this, but so does he. Her mom just comes out as very calm, very level-headed, and there is something about her that does feel like you can respect that she's saying the truth, that you can believe her. And again, their whole time on the resort, she never once mentioned that she had changed the passwords to protect him. Never once mentioned that. And then she's mad that everyone didn't just immediately believe her when it seems like you just took his passwords to be petty.
Basically, like, her voice, everybody going to be quiet and hear her. So everybody going to believe her.
But why wouldn't you be quiet and hear me? What?
I'm just gonna say it how it is with Ari. She's just not a super likable person.
Sorry. Well, not really.
She kind of comes off as holier than thou, judgmental, and seems to kind of look down on everyone. I'm saying this fully aware that this is how the show portrays her. She could be a very lovely person in person. I'm sure she is.
And scientifically, it could be possible.
And we have to take into account that we are seeing her probably in the worst time of her life.
Is your life just terrible? I know how that feels.
Try to protect him, you hurting yourself.
Yep, it's true.
For once, Florian is making some pretty good points.
You guys never really gave me a chance to say my side of the story, and I'm glad that you're getting it now, but I definitely felt that I never had an opportunity to explain things first.
Ari. I don't know your full name. Girl, you had plenty of opportunity. At any point while you were there, you could have said this. When you were locked up in that bathroom, ignoring everyone who kept coming in there trying to check on you, could have said it then. Could have said it at breakfast. Could have said it at the pool. Could have said it in therapy. What? You could have mentioned this at any freaking point. You chose to stay silent. And just a second ago, she said, well, Bini didn't want me to say.
And I've never heard you say anything about people potentially taking advantage of
He didn't
Bini.
want me to say that.
So you chose to protect him, and then you're mad at everybody else when you look like the bitch who's keeping the passwords.
You're typing big boobs?
I'm trying everything.
Try big boobs with a Z.
That's the password. We're in.
All right.
Wow.
So speaking of Ari acting like a bitch, an issue between her and Julia had come up, and it seems like it was a big misunderstanding.
I see she texted me, and I think I play with her. I answer back.
So these are the apparent text messages in question. I guess they were at breakfast together and they were kind of joking around, and she had texted her these things as a joke, like directly in front of her. Ari texted Julia these. And Julia's saying at the time she also felt like it was a joke, but then when other cast members coming to her saying, actually Ari does hate you, she has a problem with you, then that's when she was like, hey, was this real? Can we talk about this?
But later, when another cast members told me like, she doesn't like you, she hate you, she jealous of you, she kept going to talking like.
It seems like this was a big misunderstanding, but Ari took it a bit too far.
Julia is such a fake. Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. Back it up. What, where, who, what?
So it seems like Ari took this as Julia was going around showing these messages, acting like she just texted her that out of the blue, and that she was actually acting like she hated her and was jealous of her, when they actually seemed to be getting along at first. When what really happened, at least from what Julia said, is that she also knew it was a joke at the time, but when people started saying that Ari had a problem with her because she was dancing with Bini, it got in her head that maybe those text messages were a problem. They do kind of kiss and make up, but I don't know. Ari gets pretty defensive.
You say you never
My biggest mistake was to trust you and to trust you at the resort at all.
What? Say I'm a
Because they all have a big problem with her using see you next Tuesday. Because that's pretty crude. That's a pretty crude word to use. Pretty strong word to use against somebody. And it's like, maybe this is why people don't like you, Ari. Maybe.
I just felt like
hug time.
Reputationally.
No. I say this is unfair.
As soon as Ari says, I'm sorry for saying that, Julia gets up and comes and hugs her, which I think is really lovely and shows, good character on Julia's part and also Ari's part, because she did say she's sorry. I don't know how convinced I am that she really means it. I think so. I think she means it. I think she can understand that this was actually just like a big miscommunication.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
I love you. Don't worry, you'll always be my son.
I know.
Always help you.
I know.
I don't really know how to interpret this look I'm seeing on Ari's face when there's a sweet moment between Bini and her mom. Maybe it's just disappointment of how things ended up. Maybe she's a little angry that her mom is still, being kind to Bini. I'm really not sure. I think it's probably a mix of a lot of emotions.
Oh, I made myself sad.
Natalie, Josh, shall we get into it?
Nah.
No.
Okay.
So they talk about them still hooking up despite breaking up, because that might be a bit confusing for Natalie, but Josh doesn't care. And his excuse is again that he's a dude.
It was hard for you to just say no, I'm going to let go.
Yeah. It was a moment of weakness, I think that.
But like several moments of weakness.
Thank you, Jean, for pointing that out. Like, you have been stringing this bitch along for 3 years at this point. You've never had any intention of dating her because she is crazy and you can't trust her around your loved ones. Stop hooking up with her. Just knock it off.
It was several moments of weakness. Okay, yes, I'm a guy. I'm a guy.
After 3 years of dealing with Natalie's craziness, you think he would have learned to keep it in his pants.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
But no, apparently not. And his excuse, I'm a guy, stupid. It's stupid and unoriginal.
You're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry.
For me, it was surprise that Josh broke up with me.
This woman never ceases to amaze me. How the hell was it a surprise? One, y'all weren't really together, so could he have really actually broken up with you? And two, you kicked him in the balls. The fuck?
So I couldn't really move on for a while.
Natalie won't move on until she has another man to sink her claws into. So that's just the facts.
What really kind of sealed the deal is when, Natalie went on social media rants that were false allegations.
False allegations, Josh? Pray tell.
Because you posted something that I'm a bad father.
Wait, what?
And that I have a felon living with me.
That's not good.
And that my daughter should be scared.
Maybe she should see a therapist.
That's fucked up, Nat. Nat, girl. No. No. Especially if you don't have any proof. You just can't be posting random shit like that just because you don't like the person that he's with.
Napoleon, don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with babes all day.
Sean decides to just immediately move on from the topic before things start getting heated because Josh seems pretty pissed. They do ask if he ever considered her his girlfriend, and he said no.
Not surprising.
In 3 years, he's never considered her his girlfriend.
Awkward.
Were you having sex with other people?
No.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
You were committed to me.
I didn't say I was committed to you.
Just say it! Just tell me the truth!
I
What does this mean?
just said that I wasn't having sex with her.
Is Josh's logic giving anyone else a headache? Because I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
So in that 3-year period, Natalie was the only woman you had sex with?
I mean, probably not.
Josh, that took you so long to get to that answer, and it's not even a real answer.
So that's a lie then.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Time you didn't feel like you were leading her on at all?
No.
Of course not.
I'm not surprised at all that he doesn't think he was leading her on. His excuse is well, she was sending me photos saying fuck me and nudes and things like that. And of course he couldn't say no.
Stupid. You're stupid.
It's kind of wild that he's blaming her because she was initiating, even though we all know the bitch is crazy. Maybe you should be the adult in the situation and cut it off.
You're cut off.
They ask about him never inviting Natalie to his house and that being a big problem in their relationship. And he says it just came down to how she treated his family and names that she had called his ex-wife.
He's calling her a hooker, calling her all of these names that she's called you guys. She's told.
I never called her that.
Natalie and the word hooker have such a long history together. In fact, it's probably her longest running relationship at this point, is either getting called a hooker, allegedly, or calling someone a hooker. And, I'm totally here for it.
Popcorn! Stale popcorn!
Natalie starts denying that she ever said this and saying that his ex-wife was attacking her first on social media, and this causes Josh to get pretty heated.
You just want
This is not
me to
something
look
that I'm
bad.
gonna make
It's
up.
not true. I would never do
don't
it.
make up fairy tales.
I honestly believe Josh in this situation. I don't remember seeing anything on social media. I've stated before, I don't follow it that much anyway. But this tracks for Natalie. She has had a history of this kind of stuff. So I believe him.
Natalie, you're being a liar. Stop.
No, but you can prove.
You're lying. You're a liar. You're a scam artist.
Oh, shit.
And that, peoples, is the end of part 3 of the tell-all. I don't know if there's just going to be 4 parts, just these tell-alls. They just keep getting longer and longer, I swear. But we'll see. Probably by the time this comes out, the next one will already be just a day or so away. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, especially if you made it this far. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.